My face is blood engine red. I'm going to let y'all join. That's hair of mine. Why is this up there? Hit the wrong button. I was trying to figure out how to get that little duck off, but he's kind of cute. Y'all see that StreamYard duck? But he's kind of cute up there. It's not morning. What am I doing here? It's not even morning. I know. Let me just go ahead and say this off the bat. I do not have piglets. I'm not going live to tell you I have piglets. I know. It's disappointing. It's very disappointing. I have to get ready. Y'all look how red my face is. Oh, shoot. My face is blood engine red. You know how last week I was sick and it was on antibiotics and steroids? Well, this is what your Aunt Judy looks like when she's on steroids, because I turn blood red. It cannot be good for me. It cannot be healthy for me. But it's like when I'm on steroids and then I get out of the shower, it takes like an hour for it looks like I have rosacea. I don't know, maybe I do have rosacea, whatever it's called. But steroids usually turn me blood engine red. Yeah. Okay, before I start, who all is here? Ohio. Jane, Kayla, Carol. I love you, Carol. Sue, Brianna, Tammy. Welcome to the show of the crazy Judy. Carrie Lynn. Okay, this is the deal. Like I have issues when it's time for me to get ready. Like if it's like, even though in the mornings I don't go live, I feel like I can't get ready without y'all. Like it feels like something's missing, and it drives me crazy. And I was like, hey, stop. And it drives me crazy. Like I kind of like just like really start missing y'all. And I'm like, I don't know how to get ready without you. And I just feel like we're broke up or something. Like I feel like if I'm getting ready without you, I feel like that we've gone through a terrible breakup. It makes me sick. Eleanor, I love you, baby girl. I just feel like we're broke up and it doesn't feel good. And I'm like, okay, so the reason I got a shower at a weird time is because I was disgusting because I got soaking wet this morning because once again it was pouring down raining this morning. So I had to go out there to let the animals out and I got soaking wet. And I literally was just, I haven't done much today. Just like, is fiddle fart around? Is that like a Southern term? Probably people from the North are like, what the heck does a fiddle fart around mean? Fiddle fart around means like you wasn't doing anything. And so I was just fiddle farting around today and not doing anything. And my dad wanted to go out to eat tonight. And so we're going to this barbecue. It's kind of like one of those places that's a hole in the wall, but it's like supposed to be the best ever. You know, that like the hole in the wall restaurants are like the best to go to. Well, this is like a hole in the wall restaurant, and we've lived in Coleman for 4 years and we've never ate at this barbecue restaurant. It's called Mad Dogs. And it's weird because I had someone come and tour to tell me about it. I didn't even know about it, but it's like a barbecue restaurant / bakery. And I'm like, who? That's weird. But anyway, so I do have, look, we're making better decisions this afternoon. We are making good decisions. And so I said, well, let's just go there tonight. So Shane's coming home he gets home around 5. And so we're going to go out to eat tonight. And I said, you know what? This is called dress up. This is what you call dress up when you have a farm. I have on something that's other than overalls. We have a Dotson, and see, it's got little cheetah print, so I am dressed up. So I got all dressed up to go out to eat tonight to the hole in the wall. So that's what I'm doing tonight. So that's why I'm getting ready, and I couldn't get ready without y'all. It's just, it don't feel right. So I thought, hey, I'll just go live and get ready, and we'll be all one happy family. But this is what I feel like I want to do. Wait, hang on, I gotta think of the song. I've been singing it all afternoon, and now I can't even. I'm singing a piggy song, like I'm trying to make up a piggy song. We gonna have piggies. We gonna, but it wasn't that song. Like, it was a song that. Now, shoot, I've just been singing. I feel real excited about Shishi, and you know, if you guys have been watching my videos, I have felt like Shishi was a little over halfway. Like when the vet came out here to do the ultrasound, I felt like she was halfway at that point. And when he did the ultrasound of Shishi, he said, "There's hey, you weenies." When he did the ultrasound, he said they're starting to get their bones. So what do? I go and Google, how far are they when they start getting their bones, in the mama belly. So it said halfway. So I was like, listen, I know my animals. I didn't write down when she went in heat, but it's hot. I made a mental note in my head when she went in heat, and I was like, I think I'm right. So this whole time I have felt like we're nowhere close. Like, that's what I've been feeling like. But today I was like, maybe my numbers are off, because that horse woman is huge, and her little tatas are hanging to the ground, and her little nipples are like so pronounced, like there's milk. Now, yesterday I did try to express her to see if there was any milk, and I couldn't pull any out. But let me just tell you that don't mean nothing, because you know what? Because y'all know, come on, I'm a city girl, right? I don't know how to milk no pig. You know what I'm saying? So, like, back when Dee Dee was about to pop, I did the same thing. I was trying to get milk out of Dee Dee, and there was nothing coming out, and then she popped Cinco out. So, like, that don't really mean anything, But like today, when I went out there, it's like when she runs, her little tatas are going like this. They're so big. They're like going back and forth, and I'm like, she, girlfriend, we need to have a conversation. Like, I need to know when you and boyfriend, like, when did that happen? When was their contact? I need you to sit here and tell your mom when the contact was actually taken, because I think my numbers are off. And, like, I know this is, y'all know I'm crazy, right? Y'all know. Look, I don't have to tell y'all been around your Aunt Judy long enough to know that I'm crazy, right? And I have been dying to spend the night in the barn. I know it's crazy. It's crazy. I've been dying to spend the night in the barn. The reason is because, and I know you're gonna say, Judy, you could get a camera. I want to see what goes on at night. I just want to know what they do, because, like, when I come out there in the mornings, okay, the goats, the sheep, and the alpacas are actually in a stall with the stall shut. Like they spend the night in the barn, and I know they don't leave the barn. But see, our protector, the king of rock and roll, is Leroy. He stays out all night because what is he doing? He's protecting his friends. But in the mornings, when I go let the animals out, every single morning in one stall is all three cows, all three pigs, and Leroy. And they're all like living like one happy family. So I'm like, what do y'all do at night? Like, when do y'all go to bed? You know, do y'all stay up and watch the late night show, or are y'all like, are y'all partying all night? Like, what do y'all do? So I just want to know myself, and I'm like, I really want to spend the night, but I feel like parts of me, because she has never had piglets. I mean, I know pigs don't usually struggle from what I've read, but it doesn't mean I'm not worried. You know what I'm saying? So like, I feel like I'm like, do y'all think I'm crazy if I go spend the night in the barn? The only thing I'm scared of is rats. Like, what if rats get in the barn? I will I'll literally die if some rat, like if I'm laying out there, I'm gonna have to get me a throwaway pillow though. But if I'm out there, you know, in the barn, let's just say, and a rat runs across my forehead, I'm gonna literally have a heart attack, right? Like I can't deal with that. So that's like what keeps me from not spending the night in the barn. But I think, now this is just me talking, but I feel like we will have piglets by the end of the weekend. Now, I don't know that to be certain, but I feel like we are that close. And I'm going to tell you something. I am going to have a big old pig party when she has those babies. If she is a mean mother, I'm going to be so mad. You know, if she's mean and doesn't let me touch those babies, I'm going to be devastated. But maybe not, because I'm going to tell you, and I know if you're a farm person, you might say, she don't know what she's talking about. And if you are that farm person that says she doesn't know it, I respect your opinion, and I'm not mad at you for feeling that way. It's okay. But I feel like petting zoo animals are so different than like animals that are not used to having people around all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like when Georgia Lee was pregnant, Georgia Lee is my alpaca. When she was pregnant, the vet said, Judy, you need to be careful because mama alpacas are mean as a snake. Okay? Georgia Lee helped let me deliver Tatum. She she became nicer. She didn't become meaner. She was nice as ever. And then same thing with Dee Dee. You know, Dee Dee has big horns because she's not polled. And everyone, you know, wants to tell you their opinion. And they're like, oh, Judy, that mama cow's going to be mean as a snake. You better watch her because she's going to be mean. She's going to be mean, and she's got horns. And of course, you know, I do realize that could happen. Dee Dee could care less. From the day Cinco was born, she was letting little bitty kids pose with her, with Cinco. I mean, she did not care at all. And so here we are, you know, here we are with the pig. Everybody's telling me, oh, that pig is going to be mean as a snake. And I guess in my brain, I'm like, we'll see. I mean, I'll see it happening. But then again, she might just like want to bite my hand off. I don't know. But if she is mean, I'm going to be so mad. Because y'all, can't you see? I and gonna be all over those piglets. Like these piglets are gonna be the most tame piglets that you've ever seen in your life. And my goal is to teach every one of those piglets to sit before they leave my farm. I want every single home that they go to, I want them to leave this farm knowing how to sit. So, with that in mind, that's going to take me really spending a lot of time with them. And if she's mean as a snake, how am I going to do that? If she's mean, she's going to the principal. I don't care if she is a mom. She's going to the principal and she's going to be in timeout. She's going to be in timeout because we ain't here at Snead's Farmhouse. We ain't having no mean mama. We're not we're not having it. We cannot handle that. But I am gonna be super careful with when people come here to tour with Shishi because this is her first time, and I don't know. She's probably going to be different with me than she's going to be with people that come tour my farm, right? Like she knows me, so she feels safe with me. But if there's a bunch of screaming kids out there, she may want to nip. So it'll have to be where we just look on for a minute, and I might could pick up one of the piglets and let the kids touch them from outside of the fence or something, but we gonna be careful because we sure are not gonna get ourselves in trouble with that. But maybe she will be mean. I don't know, but I just find it hard to believe. She is the sweetest pig ever. And, she is the one, she's the pig that, I'm constantly laying on in the farm. Like I'm all over her. Like I'm like hugging her and I'm all over her. I pretend like I'm riding her on the back. I don't put all my weight on her. But she knows me. And as soon as I call her, she comes to me. Like I just cannot see her being mean, but you never know. Motherhood does all kinds of crazy things to you, don't they, women? I can't decide if I want to do this or not. But we will see. And another thing that I'm thinking, because this is another thing, every single person tells me this, like, and then this is with poultry too. Like, all farm people are saying, daddy ducks will kill the babies, roosters will kill the babies, be careful with your peacocks because the peacocks will kill the babies, be careful with the pigs because the males hurt the babies. And I'm not saying that don't happen. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm just saying, in my experience, and this is just my opinion, it's not like written in the farm book, right? It's just Judy's opinion. But I have never had that happen. Like, people would tell me about ducks. They were like, your male duck will kill the baby ducklings. I don't know why, but they don't kill them. He's never done it. He doesn't, he don't really pay any attention. I don't know. I think it's kind of, and I think it's the way you introduce the animals to, like, it's like Leroy, for example. I hate not being able to see and putting on makeup. I wish I could leave my glasses on so I can read. That son of a gun. That son of a gun calls me every single time I go live. 911, what's your emergency? You are live here on Facebook and YouTube. So please watch your language. Look, I have a life other than Shane Snead. I've got 100 people watching, and you're on the phone. So I will see you when you get home to the homestead. Bye. Love you. Bye. um, I kid with him. Anyway, um, I feel like it's how you introduce your babies to your animals because um like with Leroy, I have to make that a transition. I have to kind of go, Leroy, this is a baby goat. We don't bite the bejesus out of this baby goat. Like, this is our friend. He belongs here. And it's the same thing with the ducklings, for example. Um, sometimes the ducklings are born in the middle of the night. So like, I don't have control of whether the daddy duck hurts them or whatever. But it seems like what I usually do is just kind of I do separate them. Just I don't really separate them for so-called safety. I separate my mamas with their babies for bonding. Like, it's not because I'm worried that my male duck's going to kill the babies. I don't per se worry about that. I just worry that I feel like mom and babies need to have bonding time. And so I will separate to allow that bonding, especially with first time moms, because they need that separation. I do it with my goats. I lock them in a stall for a day just to give them bonding time. And it gives Leroy a minute to go, oh, we have a new baby on the farm. He's not a predator, so I don't need to beat him, or whatever, or kick him. So um, that's why I do it. I don't do it necessarily because I worry about my male. Now, if it was a new male that I didn't know, that would be a different story. But I know that I don't know. I feel like petting zoo, petting zoo animals are so used to people and so used to loud noises and so used to being picked up, turned upside down. Like my rabbits that I donate to classrooms, by the time those rabbits get to be 6, 8 weeks old, they're used to being picked up. They're used to being carried around like this by little kids, and they're so classroom ready, which is the reason why I donate rabbits to classrooms, is because I truly feel like that an animal is so much therapy to a child. When kids come to my farm, I have no idea what's going on in their family life. Like, I have no idea. But I know by physically watching kids connect with an animal, it's like a bond like you've never seen. And the cool thing about is it is almost like my animals know the innocence of a child. When Tate, the cria, the baby alpaca, when Tate was born, he would come up to kids and not come up to adults. He sensed the innocent of a child. And so when he started getting like when people would want to pet him, I would tell the parents, I go, you stand over there and let the kid walk up. And they're like, they're scared. I'm like, he's not going to hurt them. I'm right there. Like, I'm with them because I usually go up with the kid. But if the parents and the kids start walking up to Tate, he's not having anything to do with them. But an animal senses kindness. I'm telling you, I think it's a gift that God gave an animal, is they sense danger. I mean, you can automatically tell when an animal feels threatened, right? They pin their ears back, or they start spitting or stomping or running or whatever. They sense that. And with the kid, it's like, it's cool to watch. It's so sweet to watch the innocence of a child and an animal. It's like a complete connection. When this is a story that I tell every single time I do a performance. Um, and when I say I do a performance, so what happens is, um, when I started getting schools, uh, I was like, what am I going to teach these kids? Right. So I've told you guys in the past that what I teach on my farm is how my animals live together and they're not separated by fences. So when you go see my logos and stuff like that, it says no fences, just friends. That's what I'm talking about. So when school started coming to my farm and I started going to schools, I decided that soft skills like are not taught in school systems. um, and so that's something that I wanted to focus on, is the mental health side of education, like teaching kids not to discriminate against disabilities, teaching kids that we can get along with people that don't agree with us. Like, we don't have to be all the same. Like, God made us all unique. Like, we could have 45 opinions in the room and be kind and not be judgmental against, who you serve or who I serve or what you believe or what I believe. Like, we don't have to be that way, because I look into my farm area and, I, in the beginning, when I got my farm animals, and this is my children's book, I couldn't just have one, I had to have two. And so when it came to Leroy, I didn't get two donkeys. So the kids began to discover why I didn't get two donkeys. And it was because Leroy didn't notice he was any different from any other animal in my farm. Although Leroy is a different color, he talks different, he's raised different, he has different mannerisms. Like, everything's different about all the animals, but though they can show an act of kindness and live together and be happy. So that's what we begin to discover with the farm. And what I do is I put together a performance, because, yeah, Aunt Judy likes to, like, I like to be on stage. I like to perform. I like to dance. I like to make people laugh. It's just, I, I think it came from just the way I was brought up, because I was on stage from the time I was 5 years old, singing and dancing, and mom had me in everything. So I don't fear being in the public eye. It doesn't scare me. Um, so, uh, what I do is, I dance with the kids, and the kids learn about that. And I just felt like it was important, because, being having a lot of animals that are rescued, there's disabilities. And so what a perfect opportunity for me to teach kids about other people that have disabilities, that how we shouldn't make fun of them. We shouldn't make fun of someone of size. We shouldn't make fun of someone with one leg. We shouldn't, like, sometimes people have disabilities that you can't see. Like, for example, um, if I told you that I had cancer, you would all be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry for you," because you can see that someone has cancer, because they start going through treatment and they lose their hair and they lose their eyelashes and they might lose weight. And so people understand that illness because you can physically see it. Well, with people with mental illness, you can't physically see that. So I talked to the kids, about that, about how not to discriminate against people with disabilities. And sometimes you can see those disabilities and sometimes you can't, because people with mental illness, sometimes get made fun of, or people don't understand, the word, let's see, let me think of what I'm talking about. The word, like, bipolar. Like, people like to say, "Oh, this weather is bipolar," or "Oh my gosh, she must be bipolar. She's crazy." Like bipolar gets labeled as crazy. And uh if you go look if you Google famous people with bipolar, you're going to find all these creative people because they're super creative because their bipolar takes them to creativity because they get energy or they get manic and they can do anything. And it's like, like those are the things that I talk to kids about because like sometimes you can see disabilities and sometimes you can't. And we talk about, the fact that we all struggle with something and we're all the same at the end of the day. We're all the same, no matter what you struggle with. So, anyway, I don't know how I got on all that subject, but somehow I got on that subject. But when it comes to Shishi and these piglets, I so hope she lets me just love all over them. I'm gonna be so disappointed if she's a mean mama. I'm gonna have my feelings. Gonna have my feelings hurt. You know what? I'm like, I'm the grandmother. You're supposed to let me touch them. But if she like tears my arm off, oh my goodness, I'm gonna be so disappointed. But speaking of that, that's what I was gonna talk about. Is people talk about the males attacking, and Freddie and Shishi have always been together. Like since day one. They're like best friends. That's why I changed Freddie's name to Uncle Freddie because he's gonna be an uncle, and it just fit Uncle Freddie. And so, I'm sitting here thinking in my head, what is this? Hang on just a minute. Let me see what this is. Oh, is it like one of those eyeliners that make you have a wing? Hang on. Oh, it's a brow definer. See, I don't even know what I have over here. Anyway, sorry to get off the subject. So anyway, I do not think oh, hang on. My computer's about to die. Give me a second. I do not think Freddie will hurt the babies. I mean, I'm not going to try it, but I don't think he will. I think Shishi will be lost without Freddie. Hang on, let me plug my. Okay, now I think Freddie will have his feelings hurt if she has babies and he's not there. That's just my opinion. I know. Why do I put on makeup every day? I'm just now seeing y'all's messages. So anyway, I feel like Freddie would be so like the best uncle ever. Like the best uncle. Because Freddie's so loving. And I think he's always been with Shishi, but no, I'm not going to try it. But I'm going to, be mindful that like I have to have Shishi by herself for a little while. But super excited. So somebody asked me about me putting makeup on every day. Okay, if you don't know why I put on makeup every day, you probably haven't seen my lives. But I'll tell you, I'm glad you asked because I like to tell people why. I do it because for my mental health, because it makes me feel better. My husband's been at work all day, and the last thing he wants to come to is a greaseball Cynthia Hare wife. He wants now he doesn't say this. This is my thoughts, but I feel like he works really hard, and I'm like, not that I get ready for every night, but like the reason I'm getting ready right now is because it's not very often that I have the opportunity to get ready at night. 99.9% of the time we go out to eat, I am in overalls. I am in slick back hair. I am sweaty. I am nasty, and I smell like chicken poop. 99.9% of the time. So today I just thought, I got soaking wet today from the rain. So I thought, you know what? I think I will take a shower and actually look presentable for the 0.1% of the time that I'm alive. So I decided just to do that, um, just for my own mental health. Some people think it's stupid to put makeup on every day. I will tell you, just for my own self, I do not. I mean, I worked my whole entire life, so I had to get up and get ready every single morning my entire life, right? Because I had a job and I was in sales. So going to work with no makeup on, being in sales, you ain't selling very much, okay? People buy from people they like, and if you go in there and you're not dressed in a suit and a business heels and makeup and your hair fixed, then people don't want to give you the time of day because they think that you're not taking your job serious. And I'm accustomed to doing that because I've worked my whole life. And so it's just like some people like to have a tan because they feel skinny, you know? like you feel like, you know, tan fat looks a lot better than white fat, like that, how some people do that. They feel better when they have a tan, you know. It's the same thing with makeup. I feel pretty when I have makeup on. And when I don't, um, I'm doing it for my husband because I want him to think I look pretty tonight. So maybe he'll say, "Gosh, Judy, I'm not used to this." You're not in overalls. You don't smell like jiggy crap, and you don't have Cynthia hair. And if you don't know what Cynthia hair is, join me live another time and I'll explain it. But anyway, I don't know. Maybe I'm weird. I don't know. I just do it because I want to do it. I'm gonna tell you this. For you guys that follow different pages, okay, different channels, whatever. Isn't it important to y'all for the person to be themselves? Like, you don't want no made up story. You know what I mean? You want to follow people that are real. Like, if you want to see a made up story, you can go to CNN and look at the celebrities. You know what I mean? Like I feel like the content that I want to bring to y'all is me. And at the end of the day, I have to build a following that knows me. And this is me. Like, I know probably 99% of the farms you follow do not get ready and put makeup on in the morning, unless they're going to a full-time job that's other than the farm. They're going to get ready in the morning. But like, at the end of the day, it's important for me to be me. And it's just who I am. And I want you to like me for me. I don't want to pretend to be somebody I'm not. And it probably makes absolutely no sense that a farm girl would be getting ready in the mornings and going live. It doesn't make sense. It absolutely makes no sense, But hey, you know what? Think about it like this. If you were talking to someone that does YouTube or Facebook, okay, and you never said my name, okay, you never said Snead's Farmhouse or Aunt Judy. You just said, I follow that girl that gets ready and puts her makeup, that farm girl, that crazy farm girl that has red hair that puts her makeup on in the morning. I follow her. I can't remember her name. Oh, Aunt Judy. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like and I don't do this because I want to be set aside from being like other farms. That's not the reason I do it. It's just because who I am. It's just who I like. At the end of the day, y'all want a real person, right? And I have to be myself, because if I'm somebody if I try to pretend to be somebody that I'm not, well, then it's going to be awfully disappointing when you meet me in person. Speaking of in person, September the 9th, it's a little month away. Petals from the Past is a nursery that is in Jemison, Alabama, and we're having a YouTuber meet and greet. They have it every year. Cog Hill Farm puts it on, and they have invited me to come. And Shane and I will be at the meet and greet. So it's important for me that when you meet me in person, you go, she is the same in person as she is on her live video. She's as crazy as Betsy Bug, and she is herself. And I like, that's important to me. You know, sometimes you meet people in person and you're like, oh, they're nothing like they are on their live video. Like nothing. Like they're so, like on their video, they're so professional. And then like you meet them in person and they're like, I don't know, burping in your face, like something like that. Like they're totally different. They're like redneck, let's just say, in person. And then they're like in a business suit, being all, you know, stuck up professional, but they're nothing like that in person. I'm just who I am. At the end of the day, it's just who I am. And a lot of people, if you don't know who I am, they want to criticize me for getting ready. They want to criticize me, and it's okay. I'm okay with it because it doesn't make sense. It seems stupid. You know, people are like, that's the stupidest thing. Why do you do that? It is. It is absolutely stupid. I don't know why I do it, but it's just who I am. And so I have learned to just be me. Just be me. And sometimes you lose followers, but I'm gonna tell you something. It ain't a numbers game with me. Like I ain't out here trying to become YouTube famous and go become a millionaire. And I don't know. You know what? This is me. If let's just say that I became famous. Okay. Let's say that New York City called me and they said, hey, girl, you've always been on Broadway. Here's your chance. Come to New York City and I'll pay you $1 million a year to come dance on Broadway. Okay, let's just say that happened. Okay. I can see me working every single day. I can see me trying to find organizations to give to. I can see me trying to hold hands of small farmers that are trying to grow. I can see me I can see me building a sober living facility. I can so see me like trying to give back to the community, to people that struggle, you know, with addiction, or people that struggle with mental health. I can so see me like, you need counseling. Okay, well, I'll tell you what, I have this scholarship fund out here for people that need mental health and don't have insurance. Judy Snead committee. Well, whatever. I can see me giving back. I can see me doing that because, you know, I'm one of those girls that have never had money. Like I don't have a rich family. I didn't inherit when my parents passed away. I inherited a t-shirt. Okay. I didn't inherit like farmland or like I didn't inherit any of that. I know what it's like. You know, I know what it's like to be dead broke. I know what it's like to live paycheck to paycheck. I know. And I just feel like that if God ever chose to bless me that way, I hope that I'm always humble and always give back. That's what I hope. And I pray that. But I don't think I have to worry about New York calling me for Broadway. So I don't think it'll ever happen. So we have nothing to worry about. We have nothing to worry about at the end of the day. Okay. I got a phone call today from a school asking me to come do my performance at the school. And I just chuckle. Like, I'm like, what? And I know what they're talking about. They're talking about me coming and dancing with the kids and reading my book and interacting with the kids and bringing my animals and all that stuff. And I kind of chuckle because to me, now this is just me, but where my dream was to always dance in the middle of New York, me dancing in schools and teaching like soft skills and teaching about discrimination, all that is better is better than being in the middle of New York on Broadway. I couldn't ask. Like, you know how sometimes we as human beings, we have this dream, right? We have this like I want to do this when I grow up and it's like if God would have blessed me with my plan, right? If God would have blessed me and said, "Okay, Judy, little redheaded girl, I'll bless you and I'll put you in the middle of New York and let you dance on Broadway." Okay? I would have missed all this. I wouldn't be friends with you right now, right? We wouldn't even be having this conversation. I wouldn't know Shane. I wouldn't have had my children. I wouldn't know who Leroy Brown is. Like, I would have missed the whole entire opportunity. You know, it's that song. I forgot who sings it. God answered, wait, not I thank God for unanswered prayer. Whatever the name of that song is. Like, you know how I could sing, "Dear Jesus, thank you so much for not answering my prayers of putting me in the middle of New York dancing on Broadway. Because if I wouldn't have 99 people right now would not be my friends and we would not be alive and be talking about, I'm so glad you've had your way with my life because your way is so much better than mine. I am living a life that I never dreamt of, never wanted. And it's a life that like I could not even imagine. Like it is like I never would have thought I would have been good at having a farm or training animals or all the things that are happening. I would have never imagined that. But see, that's what I like to teach too is how sometimes you know how your mama taught you, like when you were a little girl and you're in high school and people were picking on you or your boyfriend broke up with you or your girlfriend broke up with you and your mama was trying to like, it's okay, listen, when God shuts doors, he opens doors and you're like, Mom, I don't want to hear that right now. He broke up with me and I hate my life. You know what I'm talking about? Like when you would be like that and you don't want to hear your mom say that. But how true is it that every time a chapter ends, another one begins. And it's like you're writing a storybook about your life. You know what I'm saying? And so like how cool is it to think like let's talk about like my great grandkids, like let's just say, and they were like, "Oh, your great grandmother had red hair. Your great grandmother had red hair. That's where you get it from, or whatever." And then what was her name? Judy Waniger Snead. And then they Google my name, and then all Snead's Farmhouse comes up, and they're like, "Wait a minute! Wait a minute! My great grandmother did this." You know what I'm saying? Like how you can write a book and about your life and where you think that this one chapter is going to destroy you, it actually makes you stronger for the next chapter. You know what I'm saying? You think about your life that way and think about like if someone asked you your story, like what is your story, and you find yourself like my family is a train wreck. My mom was a train wreck. You find yourself talking about all the negative, and it's the coolest thing to think about you writing your book and how all that negative defined you and made you who you are today. And how when you were younger and your high school boyfriend broke up with you and you thought your daggum life was over, or you didn't make cheerleader and or football team and you thought your life was over and it was the worst thing ever, or you had your friends in high school were calling you bad names and you thought, oh my gosh, I have no friends. And then you realize when you get older that like, do any of y'all still talk to your high school friends? Very few people actually are still best friends with their high school friends. You know what I mean? And I can remember mom telling me, Judy, you'll only have a couple of true friends in your life. Like when my friends would be ugly to me or whatever. And I remember her saying that. And like now, as an adult, I see what she's talking about. You know what I'm saying? Because not everybody's in your corner and not everybody like is your cheerleader and not everybody wants to see you win. You know what I mean? And the reason is because jealousy, kicks in and, you know, like people that are competitive with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, did you ever have friends in high school that like were competitive, try to one up on you all the time? You know what I'm talking about? And you realize that life's short, and you realize, how am I getting on this subject? Oh my goodness. Anyway, Garth will be home and let's see what time it is. We still got 15 minutes. What y'all want to talk? Oh, I gotta keep my glasses on. What y'all want to talk about? Anybody want to ask a question? I'll answer any questions within reason. Let's see what y'all got to say. You still have friends from kindergarten? That was a Garth Brooks song? Oh my gosh, I did not know that. You are from Australia. How cool is that, Jody? Thank you. Cinco situation. Okay. I've been on the struggle bus since day one with Cinco. If you came to my farm, you see what I'm talking about. But my farm, fenced in, is probably 2 or 3 acres. It's not very big. Okay. And so, for me to add another cow to the petting zoo, there's not enough room. Like, even with her not breeding, like people were like, Judy, you can inline breed. She can breed back to Dexter. Okay. At the end of the day, I have to think about the best interest of my animals. It bugs the bejesus out of me that my animals do not have grass. It bothers me. I hope that New York calls me and they offer me $1 million contract, because if they do, I'm buying my animals a land with grass. I did speak to multiple vets about the grass situation. The good thing about not having grass is I don't really have to worry about worms. Like, my animals don't get sick. Never. Because they don't just sit there and graze on grass. They have fresh hay. And I say fresh, they have hay, and then they get grain every night. So you can come to my farm and see that my animals are well taken care of without grass. But I just feel like, I hope one day, if Shane's listening to me, he's probably going to say, Judy, are you serious? But I hope one day we can move where we can have like 50 acres or something like that. And my animals have so much grass to run on and play on and eat on. Like, that would be like a dream. And I just feel like in the situation that I'm in right now, being a petting zoo, only having, let's just say, 3 acres, I feel like that's like not nice to add another cow to the petting zoo. I just feel like I'm sad about it. Shane and I have so many projects going on too. Like, we could fence in the area down at our creek, because there is grass down there, and we could fence that in and put the cattle down there